Hi, I'm Evan Mozingo,
And I'm Chris Poltay.
and this is the monthly REDI report for June 2020. Chris, I know it's end of July, but we wanted to do a June recap.
Right.
It's been pretty busy, really interesting, even with this coronavirus thing still going on.
Right.
But we're obviously in a new setting here. We've got a new avenue with a podcast that we
Right.
have published two now. One just went out this week.
Yeah.
The most recent guest was Dan Work, and we've had Clint Lawrence on. It's a really cool feature that we've come up with.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. As you can definitely tell, it's a little different here. So we've tried to create a podcast studio, and with that, it gives us the capabilities of doing a lot more virtually, working with our clients, trying to do the Zoom meetings and other things in a virtual format. And so, yeah, this has been great because it does give just a different feel.
Yeah.
And so the podcast, again, is one of those things, just like the REDI report, is supported by the EDGE, the
Sure.
Union County Economic Development Growth Enterprise. And that allows us to do some things a little bit differently. And so the podcast is just a way to pull allies in and people that have like a bigger footprint than Union County and really talk about what's going on economic development wise that touches our world. And so with that, it just gives it a good perspective of sort of what's going on, and then we can try to dial that back into Union County. So
Right.
It's been good. Been a lot of good hits on the
It's
the
been
first
very
two.
successful,
Yeah,
definitely.
so we're excited about that, and hopefully we'll be getting a lot of other allies to come join us and be a part of it. So I think next up will be Chip Pope with Shellco. And then we've got several other folks lined up, so it should be a good informational thing for people to tie in. And we're trying to keep it 30 minutes or so,
Right.
So that it's digestible in a car between meetings and things like that.
And it is called Union County Edgecast. It's
Yep.
available now on Apple Music, Spotify, and on our website.
Perfect. Thanks. Well, kind of going along with this same theme is how we handle prospects now.
Sure.
So it's a little bit different. People can't travel as much, particularly from Europe and other places. We did something pretty interesting and used some of your capabilities with the drone
Right.
just recently. So we were showing our spec building. And tell us some of the new technology we applied that you were able to help us put in place there.
It's something was really excited about. Really, when we first got the drone, I was thinking this could possibly be a capability.
Right.
But we were able to live stream our drone footage directly to a client who was nowhere near the spec building, actually
Right.
in Europe, which was really cool that
Yeah.
we were able to do that. He could tell us, hey, let me see that part of the building, flew the drone over there,
Right.
flew it outside around the building, all while you're sort of given the sales pitch inside. So, I mean, it was a really good setup that we had.
Our PowerPoint up and running.
Right.
We had the gimbal walking around with a phone, kind of showing some internal spots as we were talking about it. They could hear, so Evan could talk to them, but also he was hearing their requests, so he was able to go some other places. We were able to show the airport. Show Griner by One and some other the other international clients within the corporate center.
Yeah, really give a bird's eye view of
Right.
everybody that you got around you, who your neighbors are going to be.
Right. So being absent, it's a lot harder to show and get the feel of where you are. We were able to even use a 360 camera that we
Yes.
just acquired to make a video of coming into the park, right to the building. Then we actually painted the building and put the company's logo on it as they came up. And so I think that really was sort of, again, it's hard to visualize something if you're not standing there.
Definitely.
And so we think we did a good job, trying to bring them here virtually to kind of walk through that space. So again, if it wasn't for the capabilities with the drone and what you've been able to do with that and just add some other technologies, it would be hard to do our job right now.
Sure,
and at least at the best that we can do it. So excited about this new chapter, that we're able to pivot, again, thanks to resources provided to us through some private investment.
Yeah, I think economic development in general, you have to be innovative, but right now you really have to if you want to survive. And while there was a lot of moving parts in that meeting, I thought it was super successful, and we really did well with that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just the reaction, again, without being in person,
Sure.
you really kind of can change and try to answer those questions based on the body language and other things that people are doing. And so
Right.
we could get a little bit more of that in this environment because you could see them react rather than it just being two people, two screens kind of talking to each other. So it was really worthwhile.
It was. Well, big news for you. You have just been, I guess, nominated for the
Elected.
The elected.
Yeah, so
excuse me.
So yeah, July 1st.
July 1st.
It was live.
For Secretary Treasurer with NCEDA.
Yes, so it's one of those things. I've been on the board for 3 years. Was honored that the past presidents had elected me to continue on and work with some great people on the board. That brought on some new board members that were great. So it's one of those things that a couple times in your career you hit some things that are pretty humbling, and to be able to represent my profession with the state association is very special to me. And very lucky in the fact that the office here is set up with all of you guys too, that allows me to kind of pull away and do some of that while the office is still in can function at 100% and not miss a beat. While we've got some spreading ourselves a little bit thinner.
Definitely.
But,
Well, that's a huge accomplishment. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, that is it for us, but I did want to offer a happy Independence Day to everybody watching, and of course thank the Union County Economic Development Growth Enterprise for their support in making the REDI report happen.
And remember, the best investments are made between Marvin and Marshville.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.